Am I a jerk? Who is the real jerk in these stories? Subscribe to the channel, like it, and leave a comment. This will greatly help the development of the channel. Thank you. Am I the jerk for telling my family how many men my sister has slept with after she called our brother a virgin? Tonight, we had a family dinner. There are 4 kids in our family. Me, my older sister, 29, my younger sister, 24, and my younger brother, 22. There were many family members at the dinner. All our close relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles, etc. Suddenly, during the dinner, a small argument started between my older sister and younger brother. My sister became very aggressive, at least it seemed that way to me, because she was clearly losing the argument. They were completely absorbed in their quarrel and didn't notice that everyone else was getting quite fed up with it. Eventually, my sister lost it and said, "Shut up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." Up until that point, my brother hadn't made any personal attacks, so her comment was completely uncalled for. It might have been the alcohol, as my sister can be quite nasty when she drinks. I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she was making a fool of herself. She replied that everyone already knew he was a virgin, and she hadn't said anything bad. This made me angry because my brother has self-esteem issues, and he didn't need to be mocked like that. In response, I said that she had slept with over 100 men while in college, and since everyone in the family knew about it, it was no big deal, right? It turned out her husband didn't know about this, though I genuinely thought he should have. As a result, he left the party in anger, saying that my sister had deceived him about her past. Now the family blames me for causing trouble in their marriage. But I refuse to accept that I did anything wrong. My sister publicly humiliated my brother, and I just gave her a taste of her own medicine. Am I the jerk for inviting my girlfriend on an expensive vacation? I earn much more than her, and expecting her to pay for herself? Hi everyone. A week ago, my girlfriend, my parents, my brother with his wife, and I went on vacation to another country. My brother and I were in charge of planning the itinerary and activities, but we asked for everyone's input. It's important to note that I earn about $150,000 a year as a consultant, and my girlfriend works as a teacher earning $45,000. My parents and brother with his wife are also well off, knowing about the trip in advance. My girlfriend took a second job as a waitress on weekends for several months to save money for the trip. For the 2 years we've been dating, we've always split expenses 50-50. When it came time for the vacation, she skipped several activities, wine tasting, scuba diving, etc., and only ate twice a day, explaining that she was saving money. My family prefers high-end, expensive places, and my parents found it odd that my girlfriend was only eating twice a day when she usually ate 3 meals. When we got home, I asked her why she skipped several activities and only ate twice a day. I mentioned that I heard her stomach growling one evening and said I was worried about her possibly having an eating disorder. She teared up and said she couldn't afford 3 meals a day, or the 3 activities she missed. She attended 3 out of 6 activities. She said she didn't expect everything to be so expensive and felt overwhelmed. She also mentioned that she wasn't sure about the long-term prospects of our relationship if she had to go on such expensive trips with people who earn much more than her. I felt bad for not noticing her discomfort earlier. On the other hand, we had initially agreed to split everything 50-50, so I don't understand why she agreed if money was an issue. Am I the jerk for separating my income from my husband's because he keeps lending money to his parents? My husband and I have been together for over 9 years, and until this year, it never occurred to me to separate our incomes. I'm frugal, he's a spender. Initially, it didn't bother me because we had 2 incomes, and although we weren't rich, life was comfortable. His family constantly borrowed money from us and rarely paid it back. Personally, I don't lend money, not even to family, but I never stopped him from doing so. Several years ago, my husband was in a serious accident. Since then, he hasn't been able to work, and I became the sole breadwinner. Recently, he was approved for disability benefits, but the process took 4 years. During this time, our savings evaporated, and we were close to losing everything. Our debts grew, and I couldn't do anything about it. Finally, he received his back pay for all the time he was on disability. I asked him to do just one thing, to pay off the loan on his car, which I had been paying for the past few years, amounting to over $50,000. And to save some money, he did neither. He just squandered the money. He lent $10,000 to his family and didn't put a penny towards our debts. During this time, I managed to save some money from my salary, but not much. My plan was to save more and partially pay off our debts. He knew I was saving for this. About a month ago, I noticed $700 missing from our savings account. I asked him what happened. He said he lent the money to his parents. I asked when they would return it, because the money was already spent and I needed it. He said, "I don't know when they can afford it." I was furious. He didn't ask me, we didn't discuss it. He acted behind my back because he knew it would anger me, and I would have said no if he had asked. There was a huge fight. I thought after the fight he would stop, but no. Yesterday, I checked my account and saw another $1,000 gone. Why? Because he lent it to his parents. I was livid. I straight up told him that it's over with his parents. I'll pay half of the bills, buy food, and that's it. If he wants to give all his benefits to his parents, go ahead. But I won't work 60 hours a week just for him to give away our money. So am I the jerk for going to the bank, withdrawing all the money I saved, and opening a new account to which my husband doesn't have access? He says I'm the jerk, and that I should make his parents happy. I would like to see them happy too, but I'm not gonna pay for their happiness. Am I the jerk for giving my daughter an expensive birthday gift? On Saturday, my daughter Steffi turned 9. She had been asking me for a Nintendo Switch for a long time, and I decided she was old enough for such a big gift. Originally, my plan was to give her the Switch during her birthday party. However, the plan fell through. We were only able to pick up the Switch on Sunday morning. Here's the thing. On Sunday, Steffi was invited to her classmate Jolene's birthday party. Well, I thought, since we're still in a festive mood, why not give Steffi the Switch after the cake at Jolene's birthday? And that's it. I just wanted my daughter to unwrap her gift, and then all the attention would go back to Jolene. Plus, our girls are friends, so I thought there was nothing wrong with it. They're 9 years old enough to understand that it was just how things worked out. At least that's what I thought. In the end, everything seemed to go according to plan. But after the party was over, Jolene's mom called me and basically asked, "Did you even think about what you were doing?" She framed it as if I was trying to show her up because she couldn't afford to give Jolene the same Switch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've raised my daughter not to think about things like the cost of a gift. And yes, Jolene didn't care at all because she got a bunch of gifts to play with, and Steffi shared her Switch with her, so everyone was fine. Jolene's mom also called me a petty show-off. I won't hide it, we don't like each other, but for the sake of the kids, I'm willing to tolerate her because our problems aren't their fault. And Jolene's mom doesn't seem to get that. My husband said he understood my point of view, but noted that I probably should have waited until Jolene opened all her gifts, so she would be first. Fair enough, but I don't see how that makes me a jerk in Jolene's eyes. Am I the jerk for telling my in-laws where my husband was when I was giving birth? 10 weeks ago, I gave birth to our son. As my due date approached, I was becoming more and more uncomfortable and wanted my husband to be around when labor started. But every evening, he hung out at a friend's house, watching football. Just in case, I suggested he play games, watch games at home, but he wouldn't listen, justifying it by saying he had to be with his buddies for the evening game at his friend's brother's house. He said they had certain, how to put it, rituals when they watched the game, and he couldn't enjoy it at home. The evening our son was born, my water broke just as my husband was getting ready to leave. He quickly grabbed his things and got out of the house. I asked him to stay, but he didn't even hear me. His excuse was that the game was about to start, and he'd miss the pre-match analysis if he didn't leave immediately. I ended up giving birth without him, even though I called his friend's house many times. No one picked up the phone, so I left a message and sent a text. My mom took me to the hospital, and she was with me during the birth. My husband arrived at the hospital 2 hours later after I texted him a picture of our son, angrily telling him what he had missed. The next morning, his family came to meet our baby. When they asked where my husband had been, I said he missed the birth because he was watching the game with his friends. They were disappointed, especially his mom. He didn't say anything, but I noticed he was angry. When they left, he asked why I told them where he was, and I replied that it was the truth, not a lie. We argued, and he insisted I was trying to paint him in a bad light. He said I didn't need to tell them the whole story. Now he refuses to talk to me and calls me petty and cruel. So am I the jerk for telling my in-laws the truth? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and watch other videos. We create new content every day for you.